the national, international, and regional markets, and that is why in recent years, Benin has often had difficulty in the market in raising funds to attract investors.
Officials say Benin is seeking to strengthen its industrial base and attract more investment.
I think that to become the Singapore of Africa, Benin will have to redouble its efforts to strengthen the entrepreneurial system, further refine the economic entrepreneurial ecosystem, and raise the level of initialization. It's true that we have already made a start and are already at a fairly good level with the establishment of the Glo-Jibe Industrial Zone with the support of the Benin Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Small and Medium-Sized Enterprise Development Agency. We already have the necessary tools for this, but it will take a lot of time and sacrifice to get there.
Benin's finance minister says public debt stands at 53.7% of GDP and that budget deficit remains under control. Ian Kinyo, CGTN.
We are watching Within Africa. We've brought you stories so far from the World Economic Forum, where Ghana's president has been speaking on the sidelines of that event at the Accra Reset in Davos, Switzerland. We also brought you South Africa's stake in that World Economic Forum. We spoke to an expert in energy to gauge his ideas on how African countries can be rallied to be independent. South Africa, we brought you flooding issues happening there, devastating that part of Africa. And West Africa's Benin, that we just brought to you, they were able to raise $1 billion from a Eurobond and a loan for their economy. This is Within Africa. We're live on Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. You can watch us there, our website, gbcghanaonline.com. Let's bring you more in this package. This time, Heritage Gathering brought together lovers of culture, arts, and ancient knowledge for an evening of poetry and deep reflection. Participants shared selections from the celebrated collection, The Boldness of Confucian, published in Egypt in Cairo, filling the room with voices that honored literary tradition and a human expression. And the event also featured discussions on the roots of writing, tracing the legacy of an ancient script that predated history as we know it, from Babylonian to Greek and Phoenician alphabets, reminding audience of the profound historical threads woven into the art of letters. And from Egypt, let's look at Morocco. Agriculture there in agricultural lands surrounding Oujra, farmers are embracing modern farming technology and techniques, particularly no-till farming, seeding without plowing, to confront rising production costs and environmental challenges. Unlike traditional methods that involve deep tilling of soil, the no-till approach uses specialized seeders to plant directly into the ground, and this preserves the soil structure, helps retain moisture, and enhances long-term fertility, essential advantages in a region where water conservation is increasingly critical. Local cooperatives and young farmers are at the forefront of this transition, supported by agricultural authorities that have provided modern seeding equipment. These machines reduce fuel and labor costs by minimizing the number of agriculture interventions while preserving natural resources. And that's that story in Egypt. Let's bring you what's happening with communication on the African continent. Whistling plays a vital role in the daily communication of shepherds, especially in mountainous and rural areas where long distances may speak a language that is ineffective. Through distant whistling patterns and tones, shepherds can give commands to their livestock, signal directions, warn of danger, or communicate with other shepherds across valleys. Now, this form of communication is practical, efficient, and well adapted to the natural environment, as the whistling sounds can travel farther than the human voice. Beyond its functional use, whistling also reflects cultural heritage and traditional knowledge passed down through generations, making it an important element of pastoral life and identity. And that's how essential whistling is to livestock rearing and agriculture. Let's go to the West. Burkina Faso. Sweets made from local ingredients have become the hallmark of certain local confectioneries as concerns grow over unsafe imported candies. Local innovation is stepping up, turning local fruits and plants into delicious, healthy sweets.
Safiatou Bagaya has loved sweets since she can remember. But lately, a new taste has been winning her heart.
The taste is very interesting, a little spicy with a hint of sweetness. This sweet is truly a pure delight.
That pure delight is 100% Bukinabe, made with local ingredients Bagaya's palate is familiar with, like jujube, moringa, monkey bread, bisap, and pure honey. No preservatives, no chemicals, just the flavors of Burkina Faso brought to life by Mirielle Kini and her team.
I realized that there were lots of strawberry, pineapple and banana sweets on the market, and I thought to myself that Burkina Faso had products that deserved to be promoted just like any other products, so I wondered why there weren't any jujube sweets, Ditorium sweets or balanite sweets.
For Kini, it all started with a passion to promote Burkina Faso's indigenous flavors. In 2020, she started Burkina Kandi in Ouagadougou, leaving behind her day job as a computer networks analyst. Kini's choice of local ingredients is especially timely. On January 6th, authorities seized boxes of expired imported sweets near the main market in Ouagadougou, products that pose real health risks, particularly to children.
In our market, we find a lot of expired confectionery products, which means that consumers' health is at risk. On top of that, these products contain a lot of additives, preservatives and chemicals. Our product is an alternative to all that. It is produced locally, which guarantees certain qualities. We produce sweets without colorings or additives.
The battle to promote homemade sweet delights hasn't been easy for confectioners like Kini. Imported sweets present unfair competition as they continue to flood the local market and undercut prices.
The main challenge is to get people to include it in their consumption habits. We have tried to align ourselves with market prices, which means that our margins and also retailers are much lower. So most of them agree because compared to imported products, which are much cheaper, they have a larger margin, which allows them to make more profit. So when we offer them a lower profit margin than that of imported products, they're not interested in the product.
Despite the challenges, Kini and her Burkina Faso-made sweets only hope to continue their fight for a place on every local shelf. Najma Abdirazak, CGTN.
And that's how we draw the curtain on today's edition of Within Africa, bringing you those stories from Africa by Africans. We've brought you Benin raising $1 billion from Eurobond and loan to service the debt and run the economy. We've brought you the World Economic Forum, where over 60 heads of state have gathered in Davos in Switzerland to talk world economy, and Ghana's President John Dramani Mahama leading conversations around rallying African countries to forge for better unity. We've also brought you Morocco, no-till agriculture and innovation, and we've brought you also other stories on the African continent that matter to you. I am Altiti Saida Sadiq, and that's it. We're back on Tuesday at 4:05 p.m. You can watch the show again on Ghana Broadcasting Corporation on Facebook, our website, gbcghanaonline.com. Have a good evening.